Okay, hello muckers. I have a really disturbing video to make today, and it involves a creator lying about having cancer. Yeah, you're not hearing that wrong, by the way. You're not hearing that wrong. Okay, we're gonna get into it, but before that, I just want to remind you that if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider. My earring just dropped. 68% of people who watch my videos in the last couple weeks are not subscribed. So if you enjoy the videos, I'm gonna be here every day. Please consider subscribing. Okay, let's get into it. So, this YouTuber right here, you may or may not recognize. This is a YouTuber, Boogie2988. Has been a creator for a very, very, very long time. First video was 17 years ago. This is Boogie right here. You may or may not recognize him. He is very, 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 very big in the like commentary space. I see that he does these live streams all the time, and he's been very infamous for a while as well. So yeah, that is him. And I've been seeing all of these allegations of him faking cancer. Now, I had known that Boogie had cancer, ? Because he had made this video a year ago. And I remember when this came out. And it was called, I Have a Rare Form of Cancer. Now, I want to read you this. It is a really, really, really great rundown on everything happening, and then we're going to get to the videos, him being called out for lying about cancer. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, okay, let me read this to you. Recently, the YouTube and ex-Twitch streamer, Stephen Destiny Bonnell, did a little bit of research on Boogie2988's claim of having cancer. Namely because Boogie2988 brought it up as a defense in his CoffeeZilla interview about promoting fatty coin crypto rug pull scam, which is a whole separate recent controversy, and came up with the hypothesis that Boogie2988 confused conditions that his doctor told him about and or diagnosed him with in general. Destiny's hypothesis is that Boogie was diagnosed with secondary polycythemia, a non-cancer condition of having increased red blood cells. Okay? A non-cancer condition. Boogie2988 claimed to have polycythemia vera, which is a quite minor and very slow form of blood cancer that causes an increase in all three types of the blood cells. Blood types. Now, I remember when Boogie's video came out, the one where he says, I have a rare form of cancer, and he says something which, in theory, is just so weird now. He goes like, I got the best version of cancer you can get. You know, I'll live normally for 20 years. It's a very slow one. The best form you can have. Now knowing what we know, to use cancer as content, and also by the way, we're gonna get to the donation part, because I want to read on. I want to give you everything, then we're gonna talk about it. Okay. Destiny's claim theory is not actually new, since Charlie and his friend Jackson Clark, or maybe mostly just Clark, made the same claim back when Boogie initially made the cancer announcement, and to which Boogie2988 also denied, but it never picked up steam the way this new one has. Anyways, immediately after and during Destiny's accusation, which occurred on a livestream podcast, many people, including Destiny himself, offered to gift thousands of dollars to Boogie2988 if he presented proof of having cancer to someone, even if it was not publicly presented, as long as it was a trusted third party, which grew from multiple contributors and ended up totaling around $65,000 across multiple donors, as far as I can recall. Boogie constantly denied this offer the whole time, never really giving a proper reason why. Lots of people have criticized him for doing all sorts of bad things in the past, but this is maybe the one thing that I'd only strongly criticize him for, especially if he's telling the truth about having cancer, but still choosing not to take $65,000 by just showing proof. Because he is open about his medical conditions online, he's very open about the treatments, he's very open about his personal life, and Boogie is very open about being very desperate for money. If you know anything about Boogie, that is one thing you will get very clear. He's very desperate for money, and he's very open about everything that happens in his life. He did take off his shirt on stream, and I think his pants or shorts, as far as I know, never removed his underwear, or at least never showed his lower body groin. So I'd say it's best misleading to say that he got naked. Basically, everyone was saying, isn't he also someone that got naked? Oddly enough, after the show, he did claim that he got tested for cancer soon, or he will get tested for cancer soon, and publicly reveal the results. But that's obviously still very odd when he claimed to have been diagnosed with cancer already and already isn't sharing the results or diagnosis. Okay, now let's get to this video. So, a rundown. Boogie, who's very desperate for money, very clearly, is being told that with $65,000 raised, he will get that money if he can prove from someone who's already very open about his medical history online. That's why they're doing this, because he's very open with it. If he can prove, even not publicly, even to a third party who would be trusted, that his doctor did diagnose him with cancer, and he is declining to take $65,000 on the simple request of confirming that he does in fact have cancer, which is all he talks about with like his test results and stuff. So he's not taking the money and is now just apparently lying about having cancer. So all the comments on this video have basically been saying how disappointing it is. So let's watch a little part of this, and then we're going to go to this, which is a stream with all these different creators, and it was basically them accusing him of faking cancer. All right, let's get to his announcement of it.
I often say, though, every day that I wake up is a good day. It's the one day that I don't wake up that sucks. So I've been debating for a while to talk to you guys about this, but I hope it brings you guys a little bit of clarity about some of the videos I've made in the last month or so. Because, well, you remember about 3 weeks back I said that I likely could potentially have a form of cancer? Turns out I got a rare blood cancer called polycythemia vera, which basically makes your body produce too many red blood cells. And when I started taking that testosterone supplement 7 or 8 years ago, however long it's been, we knew that this was a possibility. You never think you're going to be the guy who gets that side effect, though, right? You never think it's going to be you. But sometimes it is. It has to be somebody. But the good news is, I mean, this is a disease that takes a really long time to get you. Statistically speaking, I'll die of a blood clot or a heart attack or a stroke due to one of those blood clots.
If this is not true, this video is actually psychotic. And I don't use that word much because I've gotten criticism for throwing around that before. But this is actually psychotic if he is lying in this video. In this video where he's saying, well, it's the best one I could have got. Hello? What are we doing?
And most people...
We're not going to watch this entire thing, by the way. I just want to give you a gist of what we're dealing with. And then we're going to go into the debate, if you will. By the way, does anyone remember Creepshow Art? I've been thinking about her all day. Where is she? That was a crazy story. Anyways.
Getting diagnosed, live another 20 years. So, if you're going to get a cancer, this is the one to get. You know me and my dark sense of humor. When my doctor told me all of this...
If you're going to get cancer, this is the one to get.
I said, if I die of cancer, Doc, instead of my morbid obesity, which I've been working so hard on for the last 30 years, I'm going to be pissed. And, well, the good news is, it might just give me a stroke or heart attack, which is how I was going out anyway. The scary thing about it is that it eventually can lead to some health conditions, some of which I already have. Arthritis, stomach ulcers, leukemia. I could definitely develop into leukemia, but the good news is that's pretty rare, so I don't think that's going to happen. And there's tons of different ways to treat it. I mean, they can draw your blood, like when they donate blood, or taking a daily aspirin is going to help. Getting something to help reduce the itching, which has been really rough for me over the few years. Drugs that reduce the blood cell count, and things along that lines. It's pretty basic, easy stuff, especially at the stage I'm at. All they really want me to do is get a sleep study done, a colonoscopy done, and start taking an aspirin. So that's pretty cool. My biggest problem is the best thing for me to do in this situation is to lose some weight as much as I can. Me and my eating disorder, well, I haven't been able to make that work so far. And I don't know if I have what it takes to even at the threat of death, to overcome this eating disorder. But by God, it's do or die now. Pun unintended. I always wondered if I knew that the food was killing me. I mean,
Okay, before I get to this, I just want to read through the comments. People are saying this is a new low. I didn't think it could get worse. A rare cancer that can only be cured with YouTube donations. So rare that it doesn't exist for him. Now, someone commented a year ago and said, I'm not falling for this and giving you money, which is crazy. But a big issue here, if Boogie is lying, is Boogie was getting a lot of support because of this. A lot of support. What does support look like? YouTube donations, like that said. Support looks like giving you money as a creator. Because my favorite creator has cancer. My favorite creator just got diagnosed with cancer. I'm going to send you some money and help you out a little bit. So, there is a huge problem here. There is a huge problem here. Now, let's get to this clip right here. So, according to, who is that? Oh, Destiny, sorry. I just didn't recognize that username. Okay, so Destiny is the one that's accusing Boogie of faking cancer. Hold on. For some reason, Boogie follows me, and I follow him. I have never spoken to this man in my life. Oh my god. So, Boogie tweeted, so I heard Penguin O said to start a GoFundMe if I need help with medical stuff. What do you think? He's right, do it, maybe. So he was saying about getting donations. Huh. Where he's saying that he never did get donations because of this. So wait, let me read Boogie's statement. According to the internet, I lied about cancer. However, for the last 2 years, I've been treating the symptoms of the cancer. Blood tests, medications, and so much more. We still have one test left to do, which will verify which cancer it is. For now, we've been treating the word I can't say, which is the cancer they told me that I have. My brother has seen it in my medical charts. My girlfriend and best friend have been present when the doctor spoke of it. We are now doing more tests to confirm the word I can't say or determine if there is a second cancer present. We are starting with a colonoscopy to see if there's cancer present, as I've shown signs that prostate cancer is also present, not pregnant. I was panicked when my doctor told me I had cancer 2 years ago, and when I was in a vulnerable state, I shared that long before I should have. It was a stupid thing to do. I should have never jumped the gun. I've never done a GoFundMe. I've never asked my audience for money to treat this cancer. I never have and never will. In fact, in my years as a YouTuber, I've donated and helped raise tens of thousands of dollars to St. Jude's Cancer Research Hospital to help people suffering with cancer. My father died of cancer. My best friend from childhood died of cancer. My best friend John died of cancer. Cancer is not something I would ever lie about, but I should have waited for the final test to be done and not just repeated what my doctor had to say that day. I'm sorry that I ever spoke of it, and moving forward, I will not speak of it publicly. I consider this a closed matter, and now will make sure it remains a private one. I'm sorry for those who have hurt or offended by the rumors I have floated around or by my actions when I spoke too early about my cancer. I'm genuinely sorry. Now let's get to this.
Hormone markers for it. That's either a definitive diagnosis, in which case you wouldn't be getting a biopsy 2 years later, or it wasn't definitive and you would have gotten a biopsy 2 years later instead of saying they're treating you for cancer for 2 years. You just said before that you don't have the money for extra medical stuff. If they don't need that test to confirm cancer, why would you spend extra money on a biopsy they don't need?
Have you heard of this, Destiny? I just got a bit of a windfall. Might have heard about it.
You may have heard of it. We have.
What's a windfall?
Have y'all ever seen Keemstar So Quiet?
$10,000 crypto scam. Using partly his cancer thing as an excuse for why he needed to scam his fans.
I just wanted to,
There it goes.
I wanted to join real quick because you just got caught lying to about me to CoffeeZilla. All right, and now you're being confronted. And now you're being confronted on one of the biggest lies in internet history.
I don't consider. Sure, go ahead.
And you won't prove it?
No.
You won't prove it?
I'd rather you go ahead and print it.
If
Print
this
it.
is true,
If
this is true, and you lied about cancer,
print it.
this is the biggest scandal on the fucking internet.
And it's not, but go ahead and print it anyway. Go ahead and print it anyway.
It's going.
I pretty much
Prove
print
it.
none of you motherfuckers. I
Fucking
said this
prove
2
it.
years ago, and I'm not doing it today. Go right ahead. Print it. Print it the way it is. Go right ahead. I'm okay with it.
Okay, so I guess just to wrap up, because we don't want to take all you guys' time tonight. So just as a couple things, right? So the story as laid out, if you look up secondary polycythemia versus polycythemia vera.
Okay, can I actually just watch that one more time? Sorry to take up your time again, but it's only a minute clip. I just want to...
That's either a definitive diagnosis, in which case you wouldn't be getting a biopsy 2 years later, or it wasn't definitive, and you would have gotten a biopsy 2 years later instead of saying they're treating you for cancer for 2 years. You just said before that you don't have the money for extra medical stuff. If they don't need that test to confirm cancer, why would you spend extra money on a biopsy you don't need?
Have you heard of this, Destiny? I just got a bit of a windfall. Might have heard about it.
You may have heard of it. We have. What's a windfall? He did a $10,000 crypto scam, using partly his cancer thing as an excuse for why he needed to scam his fans.
I wanted to join real quick because you just got caught lying about me to CoffeeZilla. All right, and now you're being confronted. And now you're being confronted on one of the biggest lies on internet history.
I don't consider
Sure, go ahead.
And you won't prove it?
No.
You won't prove it?
I'd rather you go ahead and print it.
If this is true, and you lied about cancer, this is the biggest scandal on the fucking internet.
And it's not, but go ahead and print it anyway. Go ahead and print it anyway.
It's going.
I pretty much print none of you motherfuckers. I
Fucking
said this
prove
2
it.
years ago, and I'm not doing it today. Go right ahead. Print it. Print it the way it is. Go right ahead. I'm okay with it.
Okay, so I guess just to wrap up, because we don't want to take all you guys.
Okay, so this person who's been talking about his cancer for the last 2 years, story is now not adding up. He's being offered, who's frequently involved in crypto scams, by the way, is being offered $65,000 to simply prove it. And he is saying that he would rather them say that he's faking cancer than get $65,000 for proving it. This is really fucking disturbing. And the fact that allegedly he would have the audacity to lie about having cancer, he's saying he jumped the gun on talking about it. To monetize that is so fucking gross. So fucking gross. Like, you really do have to be really sick in the head to do that. Muckers, I saw this and I needed to talk about it. I was like, is anyone else seeing this happening? Like, what the actual fuck? Right. I will talk to you in my next one. Goodbye.